It's time to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. But that ain't Vicki. That's Michael Jennings,
That's
the
right.
friendly neighborhood advisor from Brackens Financial Solutions Network. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, George. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Vicky's uh she's not here today, but you here today. And we
I'm
all right
here.
with that. How
That's
you
right.
doing?
She got backup. She's good.
Just okay. So Michael, I remember when you were just starting in this game. You in it now, huh?
I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. The world is getting crazier, all the laws and everything is changing, and there's a lot that people have to be up to date on. So, as long as that's the environment that we're living in, then I'm gonna be here.
You look sharp, you look good. Just make sure we got your
Thank
contact information when we get to the end of
you.
the program, so that you can tell people how to get a hold of you. So you ready? You got that? You got your
I'm
email?
good.
You got your contact information ready? All right.
Listen,
So
I'm
what?
good.
The other thing is, since this is Christmas week, you got your stuff done. You good?
I am not good on that. I tell you, I am. Probably tomorrow and Friday, I'm gonna take advantage of all the expedited shipping that I
Well,
can.
actually, by the time they see this, is too late. So you only got a couple days left, brother. You really, you almost going to be out there on Christmas Eve at this point.
Pretty much. Listen, if we're gonna make it a new holiday, it'll be what day is Christmas on? Wednesday, it'll be Black Tuesday. No, that is
Okay,
not good.
okay.
That's not good, actually. Black
All
Tuesday is
right.
not good in the finance world, but whatever the case may be, I'm gonna get it. I'll make sure everybody that needs to be taken care of is taken care of.
Okay.
Got it.
I didn't mean to tell your business, Michael, but you got. So Michael, some really important information that businesses need to know for this year end that's going to be critical. What you
Mhm.
got for me?
Yes, so back in 2022, so 2 years ago, there was a law that was passed known as the Corporate Transparency Act. Now, George, have you heard of this?
Um, I I can't say that I have.
Okay. And you would not be alone in that. A lot of people have not heard of this. And the important thing about it is the reporting rule. So the Corporate Transparency Act is a bipartisan act. It was enacted in order to be more vigilant and also take action against bad actors that are using businesses or creating businesses for nefarious purposes. So these bad actors, these are, people committing fraud. These are, people trafficking illicit things and, using these businesses as cover, terrorist organizations also using these businesses. These bad actors, they use these businesses known as shell companies and things like that so that they can hide and layer different transactions and things like that so that it's harder to track where the money is coming from, where is it going, and what it's being used for. So that's what the Corporate Transparency Act, that's what it was created for. Now, where it comes into play and with some of our listeners and things of that nature are for business owners. So with the Corporate Transparency Act, there is a new requirement known as the reporting rule, where every business, pretty much every business, there's a number of exceptions, like large companies or financial companies, things like that, but pretty much any mom and pop shop, any LLC that you started, you're more than likely you're going to be considered a reporting company. What that means is they're gonna want to know about your information, your business's information, and that has to be filed. Coming up very soon, actually, for most people, it's going to be January 1st, 2025.
Mm. So, if what's the penalty if you don't file?
Penalty is huge. Well, it has the potential to be huge. So, for companies that were created that have been in place before January 1 of this year, 2024, those companies have until January 1, 2025 to file. the day after you do not file, after that deadline, you will begin racking up the penalty. And that penalty is coming in. It was originally set for $500 per day, but it is written into the law that it's adjusting for inflation. So it is now at 591 per day. So almost $600 a day as far as a penalty. Now, this penalty is going to be for people that are willingly, going against this reporting rule. Now, what does willingly mean?
It's a good question,
That
right?
that's for someone else to define. I'm not too sure. A lot of people aren't too sure as to how, that people are going to be designated. Well, you maybe you heard about it, you forgot about it, then you didn't do it. Is that willingly or is that just being forgetful? Things like that. But as you can tell, this is a huge penalty, possibility to be a huge penalty, especially for some of these small businesses, people that just open up an LLC so they can like run it instead of as a hobby, make a little bit of money on the side. Maybe it's a side gig for some people. So it has big ramifications. So even outside of that 591 per day, again, if you are found to be willingly non-compliant, the maximum penalty for you would be 2 years in prison, as well as an additional maximum penalty of $10,000. What was that, George? You, you muted.
Does every owner of a business have to file?
Every pretty much any businesses. Now there are 23 categories of exemptions. Again, these are some of the larger corporations that of course are companies that are like listed on the stock market. All of their information as far as who owns it and everything like that. This is all public information. But for an LLC that someone might have started, or a side business, a C corp, maybe a smaller business, generally people don't really know about the ins and outs of who owns it, how much percentages. So any business owner, so there's the company side and then there's the owner side. So any person that owns at least 25% of a business that is considered a reporting business will have to file, as well as all of the other owners of that business. So if you
And this
have
is this is just corporations, right? Not necessarily DBAs, because you know who the DBA is, or do you?
Nope. So as it's written in the rule, there's pretty much a catch-all outside of that. So you have your big corporations that are exempt. You have your medium-sized companies, your smaller companies. Then you have your, whether it's a LLC or your sole proprietor working off of a DBA. There's a catch-all rule that says if your business is filed with a something like a Secretary of State, wherever you are, then you're considered a reporting company. So that pretty much just puts any business, um,
Yeah.
yeah, in the net.
What happened with the recent lawsuit around this topic?
It's a great question. So I know I just kind of started ringing the bell, and people have to
Yeah, yeah.
and everything.
There is an injunction.
There is an injunction. There was a lawsuit in Texas between Texas cop pop shop, something like that, versus the government and the financial center, Treasury, U.S. Treasury, that is enjoined in all of this. So with that lawsuit, the judge in that case issued an injunction, basically nationwide, taking away the deadline for filing. Now, what that means is more than likely, if we end the year, if we get to January 1, 2025, with this injunction still being in place, then there's no legal way that the government can penalize you for it. Um, but we don't have a crystal ball. If the injunction goes away on December 31st, then you're right there at the deadline. If it happens afterwards, we're not sure if the government is still going to consider January 1 being the original deadline, or if there's going to be a new deadline, if there's going to be any sort of grace period. So my very, very light suggestion, and I know some people out there are kind of, worried they don't like the government being too far into their business, but at the end of the day, if you created a business, you more than likely, you filed it with the Secretary of State. The government knows that you have a business more than likely. So, I went through the filing right online with one of my clients. It took about 5 minutes. It didn't really have any more information requested that isn't generally known to the client. So, they're not looking for anything out of the ordinary. It's just who you are as an owner, what's the name of your business, the address, and things like that. It took about 5-10 minutes to get it done. But again, if people look at this lawsuit or this injunction and say, well, I don't have to do it, if it comes back that, this ends up being constitutional and they keep the act in place and now the deadline is still in place, at that point, would you be considered willingly non-compliant? Or again, is it, it's all up for interpretation. So my light suggestion is to just do it. If you're a business owner, just file it and just let it be that. There's few times where you go up against the government and actually win. So
My thing is though, Michael, when you are we going to get a notification that you need to file, or is this something like who's going to tell me to file?
well, apparently they've been telling people to file all year long. I'm not sure how effective that's been. I've seen some
So,
numbers that says
well,
out of
let me
30,
ask you: did
yeah,
your client get a notification? Is that how they knew to
if
do it?
they if they did, I'll tell you this. I've spoken to a lot of business owners in the last month. Only one so far has heard of it out of maybe 15, 20.
And the client that you helped, did they hear of it, or did you guys have a talk about it and
They
then
did
said, "Well,
not.
let me just jump on this"?
They had no idea. I spoke to 3 clients in one day, all business owners. Not a single one had any idea.
And then
So
once you told them, the one client said, "Well, let me just go ahead and do this."
exactly, he did it right there in my office and got it done. And again, they said that they've been notifying people since the beginning of the year. So far, the last numbers that I've seen out of 32 plus million small businesses or businesses in general, only about 6, 7 million have filed. And most of those have been in the last month now that
Mm-hmm.
people are scrambling and just now hearing about it.
All right. Well, the friendly neighborhood advisor, Michael Jennings, with some friendly neighborhood advice for you. So, where do they, where do they do this thing that we are talking about, the Corporate Transparency Act? Where do they do it?
Yes, so if you can go right into Google. So the entity that is in charge of this is known as FinCEN, FINCEN.
Okay.
That's sort of like the government financial crime task force. So
Mm-hmm.
Google that, Google beneficial ownership information filing, and you should be able to easily find it. But if
And
not,
then
give,
from
give
there,
me a
you
call.
then can file the information.
Absolutely. Yep.
We'll have that link in this video and a
We
little
will.
bit more information about what you need to do if you're an entity to comply with this law. Because here's the deal: the penalty alone, right, is worth it. So you take the 5 minutes, as Michael suggests, give them the information that they want, and you shall be set. All right. If they want more information about things like this or other things, Michael, what should they do?
Well, you can send me an email at michael.jennings@brackensfsn.com. Or if you want to reach me faster, just give me a call, 315-748-5540. And that's 315-748-5540.
All right, that's Michael Jennings, our friendly neighborhood advisor, wealth consultant with Brackens Financial Solutions Network. All right, Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. She is America's money maven, but Michael is our friendly neighborhood advisor.
That's right.